Hello everyone, and welcome to my Friday Facts. Look at this beautiful raptor. This is Peregrine Falcon. Aren't they just the most spectacular birds of prey you've ever seen? Vancouver is a bird's paradise, and I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the most incredible bird and wildlife every single day here in the Fraser Valley. As most of you know, I'm very passionate, obsessed even, with protecting and conserving our nature and wildlife here in my wild Vancouver, as our city of over 4 million people grows daily. I'm fortunate enough to see peregrine falcons fairly often on my nature walks that I document online, and I've become very attached to these spectacular birds. I love watching them chase and make the Dunlin dance along the bay in winter, but I never thought I'd be lucky enough to see a live nest with chicks. I had heard that peregrine falcons nest in something called a scrape, literally a scraping of stones on a ledge. There are scrapes reported high on the Granite Chief in Squamish near Whistler, and on ledges underneath bridges in the city, and even on skyscrapers. Those are all out of my range and reach. But then I heard about the cliff above the Sumas River in Abbotsford. So this week's Friday Facts is something a little bit different. I'm going to share some facts about how I got interested and involved in the Abbotsford peregrine falcons and show you some of my film clips. There's going to be no blasting in this video. My other blasting videos with that mine explosion are on my playlist. I'll put a link in my description. This video is going to show you my first peregrine nest sighting and the young chicks from egg to fledge, and the specific nest site at the cliff on Quadline Road. And I'm going to show you why I'm so passionate about these birds and about this particular site. I'll be doing another Friday Facts on peregrine falcons in general in the future. But today I'm talking about the season at the cliff in Abbotsford above the lovely Sumas River. My attention was first raised when I was asked to sign and share an online petition to save the peregrine falcons at the Quadline site last year. I was immediately interested, and I looked it up on my map and considered the logistics. I'm lucky enough to have a few patrons who believe in me and support my work. So in December last year, I took a drive out to Sumas Mountain. It's about 1.5 to 2 hours drive east from Delta where I live and where I usually film, as I wanted to see it for myself before getting involved and asking my followers to sign petitions. This film in the background is from December last year, from my first visit. I saw the magnificent Sumas Mountain and the Sumas River and the cliff where the peregrine and cliff swallows nested so successfully for the last 10 years. And I fell in love with this place. Just look at it. What a beautiful mountain. And this film in the background where can you see the bald eagle here chasing the ducks? Oh, I knew immediately this was a special place. It was just fantastic. There are reports of red-listed ghost orchids here. Cliff swallows, peregrine falcons use the cliff. Seals, kingfishers, yellow-bellied marmots and osprey have all been seen here quite often. I immediately knew I had to try my hardest to save this site. The voice you hear in the background is Howard Bailey, senior scientist with Nautilus Environmental, who is working alongside the landowners to fight to protect the cliff. Howard agrees with me that this is all just bullshit.
Yeah, the entire back page, all these definitions. Yeah. Why is there not a section that has definitions on it?
Like I said, when I read it, I was shocked. They're just, this is just bullshit. I knew this would happen, and I told them this, right? It's like, they have material here, they've moved the crushers here. What they should have done is months ago. All the material should have come down to there.
Yep.
The flushers all should have been under there. They could have worked on that side of the cliff edge, right?
Yep.
And then wait till they're done and blow the whole thing. That's what they have a permit to do.
Yep.
But they can't be bothered with that, right? That's
No.
the best part. They can't be bothered with that. I mean, they're supposed to retain the topsoil, right?
Yeah.
And they just shoveled it all over with all the rocks and trees in it, right? So now it's not sortable, right? Unless you actually take it. So, they're just,
They're just
every piece of this is just,
bullshit.
yeah, there you go. Like I'm trying to figure out politically correct ways to say it, and you can't, right? It comes right down to it. And the best part is it defies description, right? It's like
Yeah,
in
that's
this
what-
day and age,
that's what
it
gets me.
gets let go. It's bizarre. So you've seen the cliff swallow nest
Yeah.
on that, not there.
Oh, no.
Oh, in this face here.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So,
We in relation to the
okay, it about, actually up about a third, but then to the right. If you take a step back, so you see how there's kind of an arch, looks
Yeah.
like a Yosemite face.
yeah.
Okay, on the right side of that arch, about halfway up, there's an overhang. And if you look underneath the overhang, which is in shadow, you'll see white streaks.
Yeah.
Okay, where that overhang meets the vertical, there's 3 or 4 swallow nests in there.
Okay.
They're actually really pretty. Photogenic and all. 3 swallow nests. Have you got them?
I think I have.
You think you have?
Yeah.
This is dead in the dead tree nearby, keeping watch while his mate incubates the eggs. It's one of the first places I look. They seem to favour that perch. Now this is the female peregrine falcon on the nest. You can see her busy, fluffing and moving around. And I'm about to get my first ever glimpse of an egg. I couldn't believe it at first. Isn't she beautiful? Look at that egg. Look at it. It's the most gorgeous reddish brown colour. And here she is, she's turning her eggs over. As I was watching this, my heart was in my mouth. I thought that egg's going to fall. But she's very careful, isn't she? And if you watch here, can you see her almost use her wing like an arm, and she gently tries to move the egg around without letting it fall, and oh my goodness, I was quite worried there. And she moves it round to the side, moves it around in her little scrape, and then settles again. Oh, what a sight. Oh, it's just too wonderful. And there's Dad keeping watch on his mate again. There's Canada geese flying over. He brings his mate food and keeps watch over her while she's busy. And look here, oh my goodness, this is my very first sighting of a peregrine falcon chick. And that's the mother feeding it. Isn't that just beautiful? Oh, gently feeding it. This is about a day old. It's just incredible to watch. And then Mum takes the prey off. She's there, holds it with one foot. She needs to eat as well to keep up her strength to look after these babies. And then she flies off with it. Now, if you look in this film here, if you watch very carefully, that is Dad feeding the male Peregrine Falcon. He's feeding it, and you can see there's 2 chicks. Can you see them? 2 little white heads. Absolutely beautiful. And this is actually my last film of the 2 chicks, because I didn't get back to for about another week, and by that time 1 chick had disappeared. Oh, this is just too beautiful. 2 little baby peregrine falcons. I think this film here is my favourite film. Now, if you watch carefully, the female flies in and she takes over feeding duty. It's quite sweet. Then she grabs the prey, looks maybe like a squirrel, and Dad flies off and Mum takes over. The mine does not own the mountain. It has a mining permit from the BC government. The land belongs to the Sumas First Nation, who have objected repeatedly to the mine work. The erosion and devastation caused by the mine is an absolute disgrace, and I quote from the Sumas First Nation July press release. Sumas First Nation, Semath, who are the wolf people, and within our unceded territory, we have a peregrine falcon nest which is located on Quadlin Road. Semath have always honoured and protected all living things, and this operating quarry goes against our most sacred laws as Indigenous people. It further states, our previous opposition to the reopening of the quarry in 2016 has gone unrecognised, and to this date is yet to be addressed. This is not what truth and reconciliation is about. For reconciliation to occur, we will need a response from the provincial government and have them provide us with details on why this project is going forward when consultation has not occurred. Our First Nation voices are not adequately represented at the decision-making table. Free, prior and informed consent has not been achieved, and our letters are not being responded to, which is discourteous at best. Through our declaration in 2017, Sumas First Nation reaffirms our inherent right to all land, mountains, minerals, trees, lakes, rivers, streams, and resources extending through our traditional lands, says Chief Dalton Silva. We will always protect and strive for empowering our people's voices. This is our land. We must look after everything that belongs to us. And I end the quote. Those are powerful words. The baby is tucked up there behind the stones. Can you see a white bundle of fluff? And there's one of the adults on the ledge keeping watch, just flying away. Howard Bailey was on site this week watching the cliff for activity when a mine worker approached him and told him the birds have left, they've flown away. Howard immediately pointed up to a peregrine falcon flying overhead, and the mine operator had to concede he saw it too. The mine had previously said that the eagles had taken the one young falcon that had disappeared, but in this recent discussion with Howard, the mine worker said that they, the mine, had it on film that the chick had fallen. Howard asked if a wildlife rehab agency had been contacted to rescue the fallen chick, because young raptors often survive falls. But the answer was negative. This attitude from the mine just beggars belief. It's just appalling. They actively chose to do nothing. I'm just lost for words. I can't even talk about it. It's horrifying. And here's this young baby fast asleep on the cliff in his scrape. You can see him pop up his little head. Hello. Oh, isn't he just beautiful? And see how fast he's growing. You can see the dark feather, the flight feathers coming through. He's growing so incredibly fast. I can't afford to visit every day, but I try to get out as often as I can. Look at him there, looking healthy. This is another week further on, and he's absolutely beautiful. Sumas First Nation have made their objection public. Thousands have signed the petition. Hundreds wrote letters of appeal to the court, which the judge threw out and sided with the mine and the BC government. All they care about is money. Aggregate gravel at $4.50 a tonne. It's nothing but a travesty. The callousness in disregarding the welfare of the young peregrine is cruel and heartbreaking. To put money before the welfare of wildlife is wrong. Now see here, this is the youngster after taking his first flight. He's further up the cliff and he's trying to keep cool in the shade of this fallen log. Isn't it gorgeous? This is during very hot June weather. There's a heat wave. I was quite concerned about the falcons. But he's looking so good. I love that white downy fluff. The cliffs along the Sumas here are beautiful and quite magnificent to see. In mitigation, the mine had installed aluminium metal boxes. A metal box in summer on these south-facing cliffs would be nothing but a death trap, a hot oven. But the falcons decided to use the same cliff they've used for the last 10 years. Despite the mine putting up deterrent ribbon and blasting and pouring sand and rock and debris down the cliff face to put them off. They persevered, and it was only after the chicks were hatched and a week old that the BC government suspended the mine's wildlife permit temporarily. And then that first weekend, the one chick disappeared. I thought it might have fallen, but then the mine had stories about an eagle taking it, which was quite unusual because the parents are really protective, and I've seen them chase off 4 turkey vultures with no problem. But to hear that the mine had the chick falling on film and did absolutely nothing to rescue it, that just breaks my heart. The site is so important to wildlife, to the nearby landowners and to the Sumas First Nation. Why have the Sumas First Nation objections been totally disregarded? This is a serious lack of judgment on the mine and the government. This is the baby during the first rainfall. Isn't he beautiful? You can see him thinking, what is this stuff falling from the sky? And there he takes off. And now, for a few seconds, I zoom in and we look at the adult. I think it's the mother. I think it's the female. She keeps quite a close watch on the chick. She's usually somewhere nearby, and she brings him food. But he's able to grab it from her and feed himself. I never would have been able to see the young peregrine if not for this sight. So while I've loved watching this young peregrine grow, at the back of my mind is the callousness of the BC government, who I blame entirely for the death of this young peregrine sibling. The mine's permit to operate in this vitally important ecological environment should never have been allowed. And the fact it keeps getting renewed just beggars belief. Please remember who to vote for in the next election. The government needs to learn that wildlife and nature are very important. And it's equally important that this young peregrine is not disturbed by mine activity in the next few weeks while it learns to fly and hunt. This on the screen now is the young peregrine. Please contact your MPs and MLAs and stress the importance that the rights of wildlife and Sumas First Nation should be respected at all costs. She needs a few more weeks of peace. Please don't let the mind kill another young peregrine falcon. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, be kind, please respect wildlife and always try to put nature first.